Have you ever caught yourself apologizing for simply existing in the same space as someone else? You bump into a chair, you apologize, you speak up in a meeting, you start with, "I'm sorry, but." You text her and begin with, "Sorry to bother you." Why is it that so many of us walk through life constantly apologizing, constantly shrinking ourselves, and constantly undermining our own worth in the eyes of others, especially with women we care about? Think about it. Each time you unnecessarily apologize, you're sending a subtle but powerful message. I don't believe I deserve to take up space. I don't believe my thoughts are valuable. I don't believe I'm worthy of your time. And here's the painful truth. She's receiving that message loud and clear. This pattern of excessive apologizing doesn't just happen overnight. For many of us, it stems from a lifetime of conditioning. Maybe you were raised to be nice at all costs. Maybe you learned early on that keeping the peace meant taking the blame. Or maybe, somewhere along the way, you internalized the belief that your needs and boundaries were somehow less important than everyone else's. I see this all the time. Good men, capable men, intelligent men who reflexively apologize for things that require absolutely no apology. They apologize for having opinions. They apologize for making requests. They apologize for their emotions, their desires, their ambitions. And with each unnecessary sorry, they chip away at how they're perceived, especially by the women in their lives. Because here's what most men don't realize. Constant apologizing isn't read as politeness. It's read as insecurity. It's interpreted not as respectful, but as uncertain, not as considerate, but as lacking conviction. When you're constantly apologizing to a woman, you're not building connection through humility. You're creating distance through doubt. You're training her to see you as someone who doesn't trust his own judgment, who doesn't value his own perspective, who doesn't believe in his own worth. And respect cannot flourish in the soil of self-doubt. Let me be clear. I'm not talking about never apologizing. A sincere apology when you've actually made a mistake or hurt someone is powerful and necessary. That kind of apology strengthens relationships and builds trust. What I'm talking about is the reflexive, habitual apologizing that has nothing to do with actual wrongdoing and everything to do with permission seeking. The kind that becomes so automatic, you don't even hear yourself doing it anymore. Sorry to ask this question. Sorry, I think we should take a left here. Sorry, but I don't think that'll work. Sorry for texting you. Pause and consider how this sounds to someone who's trying to gauge who you are. Each unnecessary apology is like a small vote of no confidence in yourself. And when you don't appear to have confidence in yourself, why would she? So what's the alternative? How do you break this pattern and start showing up in a way that commands genuine respect? It begins with awareness. Start noticing when and why you apologize. Is it actual remorse for a mistake, or is it habit? Is it genuine regret for harm caused, or is it preemptive self-protection? The next time you feel that reflexive sorry rising to your lips, stop and ask yourself, have I actually done something wrong here? Is an apology truly warranted? If the answer is no, then replace that apology with something else, something that reflects confidence rather than contrition. Instead of, sorry to bother you with this, try, I'd appreciate your insight on something. Instead of, sorry, but I disagree, try, I see this differently. Instead of, sorry, I'm late, when you're actually on time, try, thanks for meeting with me today. Instead of, sorry for texting, try, I was thinking about you and wanted to connect. Do you feel the difference? One approach positions you as an intrusion, a bother, someone seeking forgiveness for simply existing. The other positions you as a man who values both himself and the other person. This shift isn't about becoming arrogant or inconsiderate. It's about bringing your full self to your interactions without apology. It's about recognizing that your thoughts, feelings, and presence have inherent worth. And when you truly believe that, when you embody that truth in how you communicate, something remarkable happens in how women respond to you. Respect grows, not because you've demanded it, but because you've demonstrated that you respect yourself. Not because you've performed confidence, but because you've actually cultivated it. I've seen this transformation countless times. Men who stop the cycle of needless apologizing start carrying themselves differently. Their shoulders relax, their voice steadies, their gaze becomes direct, and women notice. They respond to this authentic presence with increased interest, increased trust, increased respect. But this isn't just about how others perceive you. This is about how you experience your own life. Living in a constant state of apology is exhausting. It keeps you small. It keeps you trapped in perpetual self-consciousness. It prevents you from fully showing up in your relationships, your work, your world. Breaking the apologizing habit frees up tremendous energy. Suddenly, you're not calculating every interaction for potential offense. You're not constantly monitoring yourself for imagined transgressions. You're simply present, engaged, alive. This doesn't mean becoming inconsiderate of others' feelings or boundaries. Quite the opposite. When you're not consumed with anxiety about how you're being perceived, you actually have more capacity to be truly attentive to others. Think about the men you respect most, the ones who have an ease about them, a quiet confidence. Notice how they apologize only when it's warranted, and when they do, their apologies carry weight precisely because they're not diluted by constant overuse. These men understand something fundamental. Respect is not earned through self-deprecation. It's earned through self-possession. So how do you practically begin this shift? Start with these 3 concrete steps. First, institute a 24-hour apology awareness period. For 1 full day, simply notice every time you apologize or feel the urge to apologize. Don't try to change anything yet. Just observe the pattern. Note the circumstances, the feelings that trigger the apology reflex, and the actual necessity of each apology. This awareness alone will be eye-opening. Second, create a personal list of alternative phrases. What could you say instead of sorry in various common scenarios? Having these alternatives ready gives you options when you catch yourself about to fall into old patterns. Prepare these phrases now so they're available when you need them. Third, practice the pause. When you feel that urge to apologize reflexively, take a breath. In that small space between impulse and action lies your power to choose a different response. That pause might feel uncomfortable at first, but it's where your new habits will be born. Remember, the goal isn't to never apologize again. The goal is to save your apologies for when they're truly warranted, when they represent genuine remorse for actual mistakes or harms. Those apologies will be all the more meaningful because they're not buried in a mountain of unnecessary ones. I want to be clear about something important. This isn't about playing games or manipulating anyone's perception of you. This is about alignment, bringing your outward expression into harmony with your inner worth. It's about communicating in a way that honors both yourself and others. And yes, as you make this shift, you will likely notice a change in how women respond to you. The woman who respects you sees you as you are. Not perfect, but authentic. Not infallible, but intentional. Not apologetic for existing, but grateful for connecting. She'll begin to trust your words more because they're not constantly undermined by needless apologies. She'll value your perspective more because you've demonstrated that you value it yourself. She'll respect your boundaries more because you've shown that you respect them too. This kind of respect isn't about power dynamics or traditional notions of masculinity. It's about the natural response we all have to people who know their own worth, who move through the world with integrity and intention. So today, I invite you to begin. Notice your patterns, question your reflexes, choose your words with greater care and consciousness, replace habitual contrition with genuine connection. Stop apologizing for taking up space in the world, for having thoughts and feelings, for being human. Instead, bring your full self to every interaction, respectful but unapologetic, considerate but confident. The shift might feel subtle at first, but its impact will be profound, not just on how she sees you, but on how you see yourself. Because ultimately, the most important relationship you'll ever have is with your own sense of worth, and that relationship deserves no apologies.